So I know the sound is not really great on this, but I wanted to show you. This is going to be my next wrapper. I'm using a really lightweight cotton. I got this fabric, pretty sure this was like a yard sale fabric. There happened to have been 5 yards of it, and I'm pretty sure I got it for like a couple dollars, not much. But I have enough to do the facing for the front panels as well as the facing on the back panels, and then I have just enough of this scrap blue that I'm making a yoke for the front and the back, and I'm going to put that same blue fabric on the bottom of the sleeve. These are going to be kind of like 3/4 sleeves. My idea is this one is going to be probably more for home wear. I'm not brave enough really to go out in a lot of plaid. It's a little busy, but I really wanted a lightweight just at home wrapper. And I had this fabric and I haven't known a thing to do with it. So I had enough of it, and it's 100% cotton. I did a burn test. It is definitely cotton, and there's a lot of it. I usually don't wear yellow. And it's like a yellow blue plaid. Not usually my colors, but I figure with the blue up next to my face, it should be okay. I know that wearing yellow up next to my face usually makes me look sick, so I don't want to do that. And then I think I will probably, I've got a plain, I've got this for the facing for the hem, and I don't know, I might put a ruffle or something on it. I might play with some additional ads. And there's Astra saying hi. Hey there, my friends. I wanted to do a little talky bit here. I've been wanting to talk about how much it costs to make a garment. And I think that for the most part, this wrapper right here was probably the least expensive one I've made based on my scrapping, because I do a log of when I buy things, how much it costs, and where I got the material. And so then months or years later, when I pull it out of my stash, I know how much that garment fabric cost me. And this particular garment actually didn't cost a lot of money. The supplies were only about $6.50. So the antique buttons that I used on this, they were free inside of another item. I think I got close to 400 buttons and innumerable amounts of other things when I initially thought I was going to be purchasing a sewing box, and that sewing box ended up being something like $10. So if I calculated out each one of the buttons, I think it would have been less than a cent. So basically the buttons were free. So all of the material that went into this is not where the cost of the garment is. The cost of this garment is the labor. And I wanted to explain how I got the living wage. That is living wage prior to taxes. If I had to take, if I were a self-employed dressmaker and I were going to make this garment for someone else, what would I charge for my hourly rate? Because I have to calculate my taxes and I have to be able to live on that wage. So this dress, not counting the drafting to make the garment, creating the pattern. So cutting the fabric out, sewing all the pieces together, doing all the handwork, finishing work. I worked one day from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on this dress. And then on that same day, I sat and watched a movie between 5:30 and 8:30 p.m. I think I might have watched another show in there. And that was all the hand finishing bits. And that gave me a total of about 9.5 hours if you also count in where I created the yoke pattern. That I did add into the hours of this. That was about an hour and 10 minutes to create the yoke and to put the cuffs on the sleeves. So about 9.5 hours to make this garment. So I calculated out at the beginning of 2022, so I'm even a year late. So the $42 an hour pre-taxes is what I calculated last year in 2022. And if it took me 9.5 hours, that's $399 in just labor to make this dress. And then $6.50 for supplies equals $405.50. So actually not too bad of a cost for a garment, handmade, custom. Now, I did sit down and calculate how much time I took to draft the first pattern and then make the first dress / mock-up. The drafting of the pattern took maybe 2 hours, so not very long. But making the first garment and figuring out all the tweaks to the garment was about 13 hours. So at $42 an hour plus the drafting and the first mock-up, that's a pretty significant cost. But I did not calculate that in with the cost of this dress. So I just wanted to let you know that my attempt is going to be for future projects that I calculate in the cost of the dress so that you have a better idea of how much this costs and time and effort and all the materials to give you a better idea of the reality of making your own clothing. For me, this is worth it. $6.50 for the materials. That's awesome. And I have a new dress. I don't count the hours when I'm making for myself. But if I were going to make for somebody else, that is what it would cost.